The importance of the sector, we started the big things in small boxes research a year ago, and this is the second research paper that we've done on that and report on that. And one of the interesting things from it was 95% of all I&L property is small to mid box. 2.1 million people are employed, that's 56% of the whole I&L sector is sub 100,000 square foot, employed in the sub 100,000 square foot market. So it's a significantly important sector to the economy. It's often overlooked by big box, because big box takes all the headlines, but it's a massive sector and important to the economy. It hasn't been taken seriously historically, I&L sector, but it's encouraging that government are starting to, with the call for evidence of planning and other initiatives, they are starting to take the sector seriously. I think there's been a concentration on residential land and the need, which is important, but the I&L sector, which is a big employment sector, has been overlooked. I also think there's a misconception of what the I&L sector is made up of. The old industrial metal bashing or logistics, low skilled labour is not a correct perception, and there's a wrong perception of the range of skills that actually are being portrayed in a warehouse is quite significant. You know, the range of companies that are in the I&L sector are significant as well. As I said before, it's a major employer in this country, and I think it's been overlooked and not understood, and I don't think the data has been used. You know, we see from our research from Savills that the data's available, it just needs to be taken on board and actioned. The suppressed demand has become an issue because there's not enough land being released. It needs a coordinated approach from government down to local authorities to identify land required for I&L sector, which after all is an important infrastructure. The focus on residential is a massive oversight, because the more housing you need, the more employment you need. And also, if you look at the industrial logistics sector, it supplies those housing needs as well. So what happens in those boxes is generally supplying the households as well. So you increase residential, you need increased infrastructure to support that. And so it's a massive oversight in many ways, but it's governed a lot by politics. Now, if you build a certain amount of houses, then it's more of a vote winner. If you build big industrial estate next to housing, it's not a vote winner, and there's pressure on the councils from people who don't want things in their backyard. So it's a difficult, what we've got to do is have better planning where we look at both hand in hand. There's an education piece needed for local government, local authorities, but also for local people. That industrial and logistics isn't metal bashing now. You know, there are more traffic movements in many ways, but you know, a lot of these industrial estates and logistics estates, particularly our estates, you know, have real nice amenity space. You know, they are nice places to live, to work. You know, they have really improved, you know, with park areas, with outside areas to have a picnic and such like, because we care about the employees within those. And they're very green now. You know, we have EV chargers, we have PVs. You know, it's a lot different to the old style, probably typical industrial estate that many people perceive. Co-location is an idea. It's one potential solution for unlocking the potential. And that's where big box has probably taken up 70% of demand over the past few years, mainly driven by e-commerce. And small to mid box has been left behind. There's no reason why a scheme with big box can't exist alongside smaller units as well, and a better mix of scheme is one idea, but really it comes down to identification of need and looking at how you address that need. And it might be mixed sites, it might be sites just for small to mid box or large box. What the main changes I would like to see are government start using the data that's available to identify need in certain areas, identify a mix of uses, not just small and mid-box and sub 100,000, but larger units as well. And that's obviously alongside residential, but really concentrate and look at employment and use the data which is out there. You know, we show it in our report that we commissioned Savills to do. You know, the data's there to identify need, and the government needs to act on it now, and actually identify areas there's need, and then work out a coordinated plan to release land for not only residential, but also small to mid box, and also, of course, big box as well.